Media.
Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers, and my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the Redefine Podcast. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about justifying who you are at the cost of who you can become. It really is. I mean, I should just leave it at that. That's good enough as it is. What I'm seeing happening, I know I've talked a lot about how the marketplace is changing, marketing is changing, so we have to really redefine how we think of the world and how everything operates. We just have to. If we don't, then we're going to go obsolete. The reason why I think a lot of people have failed to adapt and evolve isn't so much that they are unable to project themselves into the future in terms of who they want to become. I think it's not that they're incapable of doing that. I think it's more that they're too busy justifying and defending who they are right now. We live in a world that, and I get this, right? It feels like the world wants to invalidate everything about our existence. It feels that way. And if you especially engage online, there's so much hate, there's so much, ugliness and vitriol. And again, it's like the conversation seemingly is that it's invalidating you, who you are, the definitions that you hold about yourself. And so we automatically, normally become very defensive of that. And a lot of the communication, the outward communication, the online communication is that, well, I am going to double down and justify myself and defend who I am, my identity. All well and good and all normal and a natural response. What unfortunately then happens is it anchors us. We dig our heels into this thing and we become immovable, and we are then unable to let go because we spent so much time justifying and defending that identity. We are then unable to let go, to redefine ourselves moving forward in a context that can actually thrive in the future moving forward, because everything is always changing, right? The world around us is ever changing, and the world around us is evolving. But if we're so married to this identity that we've been justifying and defending, then how can we create an identity that can thrive in the future, right? So this is really it just dawned on me, like, okay, this is the habit pattern that I see so many people engaged in, and it's what causes people to get left behind, right? If you want to adapt, if you want to change, if you want to grow, if you're trying to create new outcomes in your life, you got to be willing to, number one, look at yourself in the mirror and be brutally honest with the things that you're defending yourself about, right? The things that you're justifying about yourself, and whether or not those things are actually serving who you want to become based on the outcomes you're trying to create. If they're not, then it's just as simple as stop owning them, stop defending them, stop justifying them, and figure out who you want to be and the qualities and the traits and the things that you have to do, the skills and the capabilities that you have to develop to be that person that has the life and the dreams and the outcomes and the goals that you've set for yourself in the future. Otherwise, you're going to still be relegated to the same results. And if you're okay with that, you're okay with that. But let's really, really be honest and not pretend to be anything other than you are, right? All right, because there's in the meantime, there are other people out here working to achieve their dreams, and they're actually doing the hard work of facing themselves in the mirror. Nobody's judging you, right? So there's no need, not really. I mean, it seems that way. It feels that way online. It feels like everybody's judging you, but like really, who are they? It's just an anonymous person behind a smart device that doesn't have to have any merit or impact in your life and the course of your decisions. So don't let it affect you, right? Don't let it affect you by again justifying and defending who you are. You don't have to justify and defend any of it. And when you realize this, then you're really free to just create yourself as you see fit, as you want, without the constraints of having to defend any of it, right? For me, like, yeah, I've never cared. I've never cared. And that's why I've been able to, like, I've just been been able to freely reinvent and expand my identity into these new things that I want to create, because I want to create new outcomes in my life, right? Right? Instead of staying stagnant. So really ask yourself that question. Are you justifying and defending your existing identity? And if you are, then it's just time to let go and realize that it's okay. I got your back either way, right? I got your back either way. And understand that, yeah, you don't need to defend and justify yourself to anybody, even me, right? Just go out there and be true to the goals and the outcomes and the visions and the dreams that you want to create and that you set for yourself and nobody else, right? Otherwise, it's just lip service, really. You say you want to do these things, but you're unwilling to let go of these identities because you're too busy defending them. So, do you really want to achieve those things, or is it just lip service? All right, I know. It's kind of a maybe a little bit of a gut check, but somebody's got to say it. And I don't. This is not a call out. Like, that calling out is not my thing. It's just I want you to realize all these mechanisms, mental and emotional mechanisms of psychology that's happening, right? The psychology that's happening, because it takes sometimes, well, many times, if not all the time, it takes an outside perspective to point these things out that you may not be aware that you're doing, right? And this is one of those cases, right? A little tough love, but I guarantee you, if you really internalize what we're talking about in today's episode, it'll help you in a massive way. It really will. And of course, I mean, if you want to have more conversations, come join us in the community. You can reach out to me directly. The community page is going to be in the show notes of this particular episode, but you can go to facebook.com/group/redefine community, and we can talk more about this. And there's I have longer conversations about topics like this and so much more. So come join us in that community. It's a great place to be, where we can support each other on our journeys, whether it's mindset, anything and everything in between, right? Mindset and marketing. That's what I always say. So anyways, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow with a fresh new one. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.